What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have the keys to an Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio that happens to be tuned up a little bit, making over 500 horsepower. First off, I really want to showcase how sick this is. The entire hood is actually made of carbon fiber. I've never really been too familiar with these cars, haven't been around them much, but as you can see, the entire hood is exposed carbon fiber, and the under section, you can see all that carbon while you're driving. Looking at the actual engine, we have a twin turbocharged V6. You can see we've got carbon fiber air intakes on it. This is a really cool looking car. It's extremely subtle, especially in this gray, but we have carbon fiber up front, a really nice set of wheels, and then of course we got the massive brake calipers up front. What a cool little car. It's pretty much an M3 competitor. This is probably the closest rival to that German car. So this one, of course, an Italian version of it, but massive diffuser, carbon fiber on the wing. Really sweet car, and you can even see those exposed vents up on the hood. Well, this is gonna be one sick little car. I've driven the Quadrifoglio in the Stelvio, which is the SUV, but never in the car. So let's get right into it and see what this car is all about. Alright, so now sitting in this Alfa Romeo, that exhaust is insane. When you go to dynamic mode, the exhaust valve opens up and you can hear so much turbo. Wow, and then of course we have the race mode, which is gonna be absolutely nuts. So we'll just keep it in the N, which I believe is called natural. Alfa has some funny words for what they call it. Whoa, you can hear those intakes, oh my gosh. This is already really like dramatic sounding. You can hear that intake, the exhaust noise, but in the normal mode right now, you know, this still is a pretty normal family sedan. Like I said, an M3 competitor, so you can still drive it, get all the luxuries. I mean, you get the nice leather everywhere, carbon fiber on this particular car. I mean, there's carbon fiber everywhere. I love it on the center. Red accents, stitching, Alcantara. Really a hard car to complain with being inside. I don't know if I've ever driven a Giulia, quite honestly. But in it now, it just feels like a pretty normal car in this natural setting for the drive mode. So let's just go into the dynamic mode and put us into manual. That was just quarter throttle, barely breathing on it. Man, the sounds this car makes already just like put a smile on your face. Gosh, this thing's fast. That's crazy. I can totally tell how this is obviously an M3 competitor. This thing packs a punch. That is insane. So we can automatically, I like that, you have a button right here for your suspension, so if you want to soften up the dampers real quick, super easy to do that. But in the current setting, just the normal performance mode, the steering is super impressive in this car. It is so nimble feeling. Like, it is so lightweight, but insanely responsive. And I love just how large the paddle shifters are. You just have contact on them no matter what. It's so easy. I didn't think this would be such a tossable car. You can just like rip this around and throw it in the turns. That's insane. Oh, and the sounds are just crazy. So race mode turns ESC off, everything. Now we have a massive speedometer there. And I want to say, yeah, big shift lights. Gosh, this thing sounds nuts. Man, I love the blend already. So we'll get up to some speed now and really get on it. Test out the performance. Gosh, these things are like little rockets. That is insane. So, first gear, getting up to some speed. Gosh, there's drama between the gear changes. Like, this thing doesn't just do it perfectly. It is like, beats you up just a little bit, gives you some drama. The suspension is so stiff. Man. Oh, this thing is legit. Oh, the sounds are insane too. But the steering, let off the gas with how the turbos work. Gosh, holy crap, this thing is fast. And the brakes do a really good job. You just tap them and it brings you down so quickly. Goodness. I didn't know these things were that like performance focused. I know stock, I remember seeing videos when these cars came out and people were kind of raving on them for being that really good competitor to that legendary M3. And with the tuning potential being twin turbo from the factory, you have clearly a lot of potential. And this is, I believe, stock turbos and everything, so really just intakes, exhaust, and a basic tune. That's kind of all you need. And with the power and the weight, it just gives you kind of everything. I love just how unrefined this is. For being, you think Alfa Romeo, you think of luxury Italian stuff like that. I never really thought of the more raw, hardcore aspects. And this car kind of gives you that. Obviously, I am a pretty big M3 fan. I mean, it's an awesome car. And it is very refined, I would say, but you still get crazy performance and precision. This car might be a little bit less precise, but it gives you a little bit more of the drama where you can just kind of throw it around. This is such a cool blend. The sounds it makes with the upgrades are just nuts. And then if we put that into with like these comfortable suspension, it softens up a little bit, so I really like that aspect. Because sometimes, you know, you're on a bumpy track maybe, or maybe on a really twisty road that might get a little bumpy, so it's nice to be able to quickly on the fly adjust that. Man, this car is epic to drive. I like it a lot. Rear wheel drive, so we got really good turning radius. The transmission is lightning quick. Man, the steering probably is one of the biggest surprises to me, just how pinpointy this car is. Like, you literally just turn it wherever you want to go and the car follows you every single time. Man, it's almost like, it's kind of a handful. It's a super good handling, pinpointy car, but I think the power delivery and the transmission, it kind of gives you that raw feeling to where you kind of got to pay attention, be on your toes. Gosh. Oh, I could see totally getting one of these. If you're just looking for one of those fun sedans, I mean, the M3 is a great competitor. That's probably the only other one, maybe a Audi RS3. Mercedes doesn't really have something this pinpointy unless you drop it down to the CLA AMG, which is kind of small, you know, not quite on the same level. And then the C60. The C63 is a little heavy feeling, a little too luxurious, but this is that other car that's fun and pinpointy for a sedan. Gosh, it just rockets you. This is so quick. Oh, this is a fun car. All right, we'll do another acceleration, just getting up from first gear. I gotta catch my breath with this car a little bit. It takes it out of you. Gosh. And I like how even in first gear, it doesn't seem like it's such a short gear to where you just hurry up and get through a red line and gotta shift. It actually just really carries the power really nicely first into second. And when you hit the paddle shifter to go into second gear, the power just continues. There's no drop in anything. Not every car does that. Dude, this thing is awesome. So that's race mode, and then I like toning it back down into the N. I mean, the car softens up, even the brake feel. I feel like it's a little bit less now. Whole car tones down. This is a really cool blend. Like, I've never been really in these cars, never experienced it. That is really, really cool. So then just in automatic mode, we'll put it into race mode and just let it shift. I like how when you're in that mode, the car kind of gets more aggressive, lets it do all the work for you, and it seems to hold the gear nicely when you're in automatic. and then just a quick click down into the N mode, the car softens up. Seems like this car gives you a really good blend of everything, and you're not really sacrificing much. You know, you got the practicality of a normal sedan, decent sized trunk, back seats, they look pretty normal, and you have decent technology. I wouldn't say it's as up to date as a BMW, so you are gonna maybe sacrifice just a little bit of the basic technology with the way the screen works. Very simple, I would say. But the fun factor, you know, if you're buying this car, obviously the fun factor is probably important to you. The fun factor is totally there. The handling is insane how pinpointy you can genuinely just throw this car around. Like literally doing that, I just went like lane to lane. It is insane. So back into manual and all the way into race mode. I love the aspects. It turns everything off. Gosh. I don't really have many more words to talk about with this car, but this is a really, really cool performance sedan. I think this would absolutely give a run to the M3 and the RS3. If you put these all three together, tune them all, because they probably all make pretty similar power. The M3 might end up making a little bit more power at the end of the day, but the handling on this seems like it's in between. This is probably going to give you the RS3 handling, but with that rear-wheel drive aspect. But you have a lot of stuff from the M3 in it, giving it's a little bit bigger than the Audi RS3. So I like the blend a lot. We got a little bridge. Let's hear that exhaust. Gosh, it's violent. This car genuinely is a violent car to drive. And I like how it's still manageable. You know, it's not gonna really kill you, maybe if you went too crazy into a turn, but it's a violent enough car to give you some extra drama you may not think you're gonna get in a car like this, but then it's not so crazy bonkers to where, you know, it's just gonna lose itself. It handles the power, it's a manageable car to drive. So this is a very usable performance sedan. You get kind of what you need, nothing too extra, but then you get plenty of performance to rip your face off, have a ton of fun, and really put it to the ground. So I think that is then it, driving a tuned up, modified Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio. This thing is nuts. If you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content. I don't want to give this car back. This thing is a heck of a lot of fun. Anyways, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video.